crazy adventure live with us. Hello, hello.
Greetings, everyone.
I guess I started that preemptively, but we have 4 people here waiting already. 5 on YouTube. Fantastic.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good
Wow.
evening, everyone. Yeah. It's been
That's
a long
a good
week.
idea of how the evening is going to go, huh, everyone? So, as we hinted at during our Facebook post and Instagram post, thank you to those of you who interact with those. We are going to be talking about our Virgin Voyages trip and the food. So, I hope that
Yes.
you guys have had something to eat or you've got snacks with you because you're going to be hungry if you haven't had dinner already. So,
And I'm actually getting hungry again. So,
yeah.
This is not going to end well for me.
We had a late lunch, early dinner. So by the end of this, we will be going and getting a bedtime snack, even though we told ourselves we're not doing that anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But regardless, thank you so much for everybody for coming in here. Very excited to be able to talk to you guys about this. I do want, we ate good, Mike. I'm glad to see that. Do want to apologize for not joining you guys last week. Scott had practically no voice. He still has a little bit of a lingering cough, so if he does have to kind of dip in and out, that's why.
Yeah.
Just
Bear
on
with
the
me.
mend.
Bear with me.
But not 100% yet.
Going from that wonderful 90 to 100 degree weather and coming back to a high of 50 and a low of 30. Wow, was that a shock on the system? So
I am shocked that it was him that got sick and not me, because normally it's me that ends up with it.
And you guys can probably hear in my voice that I've still got a little bit of raspiness and stuff. So
yep,
I might be ducking out to go get a cough drop or two here and there. But I've got my tea in my Virgin mug, which we're talking about Virgin Voyages here. Got this because I forgot to take this on the trip. So... But it worked out.
A very reasonable souvenir. It was only $20. So,
yeah, and that's one thing I got to say about the souvenirs and stuff on the ship. It was very reasonable souvenir prices for them. I mean, like a polo shirt, it was in the 20s to 30s, which isn't a normal price.
T-shirts were about 18 to 25, depending on.
Yep, depending on the design, or if it had the long sleeves and stuff too. Yeah. So, really good prices on stuff, and had some really awesome things. So, but. Yeah. That's not what we're here to talk about tonight. We're here to talk about the food. So, where are we starting?
We're going to start with the very first evening on the ship. I had booked the wake.
Yeah.
This was all of our dinners were late, like 9 o'clock or later. That is not generally how we eat, but it was what was available because we did book this trip fairly last minute.
Yeah.
So we got there, I think, about 9:30. And sat down, had a lovely meal.
Yep.
And this was the night, like we were feeling pretty good because we'd had more than our fair share of champagne at the sail away party. But we'd come down off of that a little bit because we'd spent some time in the room and everything. Was really hungry. I know I was starving.
Yeah,
I was ready to eat.
I was definitely ready to eat. So.
And the very first thing that I want to make sure I tell everybody is Virgin Voyages is very forward food, very adult-oriented food.
Yep.
So the menu items, like for instance, I had bone marrow as my appetizer. You're not going to see that very often.
Yeah, with the actual bone, and that was
it came out in the bone, like sawed it in half and had cooked it and stuff, and you just scraped out the bone marrow.
Yeah. So
had it with bread.
Well, since you're talking about it, what did you think of it? Because I didn't try it. So
I actually thought it was decent. It tasted a little on the fatty side, like if you eat a fatty piece of steak. So it kind of had that, and then it kind of had more of a gritty texture to it. But other than that, I don't know if I would necessarily order it again. It's not one of those, oh my gosh, that was so great. But I was on a cruise ship and it was included and I didn't have to pay any extra for it. So why not try it?
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I did. I thought it was really good. Yeah. It did not compare to your, what did you have? Clam bisque? Clam chowder.
Clam chowder. Yeah. Well, let's back it up for a minute. First of all, I want to talk about the beauty of this restaurant before we really get into the food here.
Okay.
I loved how when you were...
Snyder says gross.
Kind of what I thought too, Dad. But, hey, she tried it. I didn't have to worry about it. So, anyway.
I also like escargot, and you won't even think of touching it. So.
I'm serious. Let's not ruin the evening. I don't want to throw up. Anyway, but coming into this restaurant where we checked in with the maitre d,
Mhm.
and then you come down what I call like the grand staircase
Yes,
down
and it
into
is
the
in the
restaurant.
aft of the ship.
Yeah, clear in the very back of the ship. If you guys don't understand what aft means, go all the way down the steps. Got a baby grand sitting there where they
Mhm.
do performances on it.
Yes.
A gorgeous bar, and then you actually walk around and you go into the back part of the ship where you're overlooking the back of the ship, and you can see the propeller or the wake of the ship going through the ocean,
Yes.
which is really
Hence why
cool.
it's called the wake.
Yeah, yeah. So but the beauty of this restaurant was gorgeous. This is one of those dining experiences that you can really dress up for
Oh,
if you
yes.
wanted to look like, you were going out on a date for prom,
Mhm.
or you just wanted to show off your better half. I
Yeah.
mean, this is a gorgeous place,
Yes.
and we dressed up. We looked pretty good.
Yeah, I
We
think so.
we felt pretty good that night too. But anyway,
That always helps.
yeah, but going in there and our waiter, Paul, thank you again. I know
Yes, he
we
was
thanked you a
fantastic.
million times, but you were the best out of the whole week. Actually, I think he was one of the best out of the whole week. So
Yeah, him and then our girl at Pink Agave. What was her name? I'll have to think of it at some
anyway,
point. So anyway, but yeah, no, absolutely fantastic. Now I do want to caution you guys. We did like checked in with our maitre d, and then we went down the staircase. You do not have to go down that staircase if you are mobility challenged. You
yeah,
can actually take the
yeah,
elevator and you can go down and just go in on that entrance. But
right,
that staircase down really sets the mood as
yeah,
far as like, oh
it's
man, like
gorgeous.
this is going to be nice. Think of a really nice higher class steakhouse, because this is essentially the
Yeah,
steakhouse on the ship.
yeah,
This is where you can get for an additional charge, you can get a tomahawk. There's a
hmm,
couple of other select cuts of meat that you can get instead, that if you wanted to pay an additional cost.
yeah, yeah,
And this is also, if you have seen them on Instagram, we didn't get them because we were already at that point of like, oh, I like didn't want to like spend the extra and not eat it all, because we weren't sure how much we were going to eat. But like the really big and elaborate seafood platters,
hmm,
this is also where you can pick those up.
yeah, yeah. So
So
we get seated, and then obviously we order our appetizers and our
appetizers.
drinks and stuff like that. Um, so you ordered the bone marrow,
Mm-hmm.
and I ordered something that didn't require a dead bone. It was clam chowder, and clam chowder was really good.
Presentation was cool too.
Yeah, it was really cool. They actually come out in a bowl, and they had the pieces of clam and pieces of bacon and sitting inside of it with some seasoning and stuff. And then they pour the cream over top of it
Mm-hmm.
and salt and pepper it for you
Yeah.
right there at the table. Wow, let me tell you something. When we went back the second time for brunch, I got that again.
Hi, Becky. How are
I
you? Thanks
bet.
for joining us tonight.
And yes, that was some of the best clam chowder that I've ever had in my life.
Yes.
The flavor, the texture, the bacon was perfectly cooked. It wasn't
Mhm.
like a real like hard crispy bacon. It kind of like melted right in your mouth. And as I'm talking about it, I'm salivating because I'm talking about this.
Don't say anything good. Dad just dumped water all over me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Deb.
Hmm.
Hopefully, we won't say anything that is too juicy and you miss out on it while you go get changed.
So anyway,
Oh, I bet she
my
hasn't moved that fast in a while.
my question is what did mom say to dad in order for him to dump that water on her?
Oh,
So
we just don't even want to know,
yeah,
probably.
we'll leave that one alone. But anyway,
Oh, that's
back to the
great.
food. So yes, I absolutely loved that clam chowder, and I'm
Mhm.
telling you right now, if I had a bowl of it in front of me, I wouldn't
Oh,
be
yeah.
talking to you guys right now. I'd be eating the food because it was
Yes.
that good. So
Yes.
anyway, so let's go on to the main dish.
Yeah. Um, I can't remember what I had. I'm drawing a
You had the
blank.
9 ounce sirloin. No, you had the New York strip.
Yes,
New York
I did
strip.
have a New York strip. Sorry, I was getting sidetrack. I tend to do a lot of seafood, and I was trying to think like, did they have seafood there? Is that what I ordered? No, I got the New York strip, and it was absolutely fantastic. I think it was actually the better steak as compared to yours.
Yeah.
He had a sirloin.
No, and the filet mignon.
Oh, you had the filet mignon. See, this is why I have him here. And you can tell that I do eat more seafood than I do
All right.
steaks.
Well, then why don't you tell us about your steak if you can remember it?
So it was very good. It did have a little bit of fat along the side, which is what you want because it just makes everything more flavorful. Cut the excess away. It was very, very good. I would highly recommend it. The other thing that they do is they do shared sides. And so they bring out little dishes, and then you can just kind of pick what you want, put it onto your plate with your steak, which I thought was a really interesting take. I thought the potatoes were very good.
Oh, yeah, they were really good.
What?
Mac and cheese.
Yeah, there was a mac and cheese. There was something else though that I didn't like that much. It was one of the greens. You're going to see this in our wake video. I promise. Yeah. I apologize. I shouldn't have done this 3 weeks out because my brain does not cooperate with me after so long. But anyway, so absolutely fantastic steak. If you are a steak eater, if you really like that kind of thing, you've got to get yourself a reservation at the Wake for dinner.
Yeah. Now the filet mignon that I had, it was good. But the only downfall to it, it
was small.
It was it was tiny, like tiny, but it was good. But I was expecting like a good au jus sauce to go with it to dip it into, and that wasn't there.
I know you like steak, Chris.
The flavoring was good, but it just, like I said, it just needed something. I would have rather had your steak, to be honest with you. Your steak, I had a piece of it. It tasted amazing. It was cooked perfectly. But it just, I don't know. This one, I was expecting something to dip it into, and it just didn't come.
Right.
Now, they totally redeemed themselves from the steak, from me, when it came to dessert.
Oh my gosh, yes. And this is where Paul outdid himself for us. So as you guys all know, I do have a cinnamon allergy, so I have to be really careful. I pretty much will not order anything that has apples because for whatever reason, especially with desserts, there tends to be cinnamon or similar some form with any kind of apple dessert. And so he actually went out of his way and obviously the apple tart that you had, there was no way I could have that.
Yeah.
But there was a lemon blueberry cheesecake dish
that had that cheese. The crust was cinnamon crust.
Cinnamon crust with it.
Yeah.
And
cinnamon graham cracker crust. That's what it was.
He went back and he made sure that because it was kind of a reconstructed, like it wasn't all like baked together or anything like that. He went back and he made sure that I got to have cheesecake without any of the cinnamon crumble.
Yeah. So no crumbles across the top of it.
And I'm so glad because that was my favorite.
Yeah. She was just like ecstatic that he went and did that for her. But so we asked Paul, we were like, Paul, hey, look, we love desserts and stuff. What do you recommend? And he goes, why not just get one of everything? And we were like, we'll take it. And he was just like, okay. He came out and there were 6 different types of dessert, and we tried all 6 of them. Now the apple tart, I'm going to tell you something. I wish you could have had this. You would have loved this apple tart, but the only thing that was missing was a dollop of ice cream on the side of it. That was the only.
We said that a few times about desserts.
Whipped cream, a little bit of whipped cream or something. It would have made that dessert phenomenal. But still, even without it, I gobbled that thing right up.
Oh, man, yes. So definitely going to have to check out our video that we're going to be releasing on YouTube in a couple of weeks. I gain all 50 pounds back in no time. I'm telling you what.
Yep, you will.
Yeah.
I lost 50 before we left and gained it all back on 1 week. So.
But yeah, definitely going to have to check out our video so that you get to see the other desserts that we had there because perfection.
Mac, no more member mark paper towels. Knee bounty. Oh shit.
Okay. I like our
that must have been
paper towels.
That must have been a lot of water.
Sorry, anyway, so that was our first night. Now the next morning we got up. It was a day at sea. We definitely kind of just took things a little bit slow, but we had a brunch scheduled at Razzle Dazzle.
Yeah.
So this first day, C day, the C's were a little bit rougher.
Yeah.
Scott had taken a Dramamine, was starting to feel a little bit better. I hadn't taken one yet. I ended up taking one in the evening, and we just made sure that we kept taking them the rest of the trip. But I was excited about Razzle Dazzle because it's a very forward. When it first came out, it was a very posh vegan restaurant that you can go to, and you can try all of these different foods and such. And then they had a naughty and nice list. So if you wanted to be naughty and have a little bit of meat with your meal, they had the options for it.
Yeah.
The only thing I can say that was good about our meal, our brunch at Razzle Dazzle, was the bacon that you ordered.
The bacon was literally the best.
And the pastries. I did have a
jalapeno
croissant.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah, the pastries were pretty good. I'll admit that.
But that was it.
But that was it. Really, this restaurant, this has to be, if you want to go to this, I mean, it's completely fine. We're not telling you not to eat there.
And you may really enjoy it.
Yeah, this might be your thing, and it just wasn't ours.
No.
We immediately left there and we went up to the galley and went and had breakfast.
Yes.
I mean, that's just how.
Yeah, and
I was not impressed.
As a heads up, things that we had, like for instance, I had avocado toast. There was zero flavor to it, except for pickled onions. I'm not a fan of pickled onions.
Yeah.
So like they were just hard to eat that because there's not a flavor to it. So
to be honest with you, and this could be what was going on. We both were feeling it that morning. From all the champagne the night before from the sail away party. And we were feeling
could be
a little rough.
Combination. Not saying that we would not go back. I'm not saying that at all.
I would like to try the Razzle Dazzle as a dinner option.
And I will say that they did recently change their menu.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are complaining about the new menu, that they don't have things figured out yet. And we were on one of those sailings, they haven't changed the menu for very long, so they're still kitchen's still figuring out how things work.
So take it with a grain of salt what we say about Razzle Dazzle. Beautiful restaurant though. I mean, the theming,
it was cool.
Oh my lord, it was cool. Like modern and hip. It just reminds you kind of reminded me of walking into an old, not old, but a 90s record shop, in a way.
Very much so.
But over in London. That's kind of the vibe that I got from it. But
very cool.
It was really cool designs. It was just a neat place to see. But the food they kind of need a little work on it.
Yep.
So anyway.
So we went up to the galley so that we could actually get some food. And this is where we're going to tell you all about the galley. Now I'm going to tell you right now, you could just eat at the galley every single day.
Yep.
Don't bother making dinner reservations and you're going to be fine. You're going to have a great time. They have a sushi bar. It's the bento bar where you can pick up different types of sushi during the day. In the morning, that's where they have all of their fresh fruit that you can pick up. I really enjoyed this. Scott's not a sushi eater.
Nope.
I will say the only thing that kind of surprised me a little bit is for instance, their salmon rolls, different things like that. It was more of a pate inside of the roll as opposed to an actual piece of fish that I'm used to having when I go to a local restaurant. So just as a heads up for that. Other than that, and I only mentioned that because texturally I kind of was like, what's going on here? And then I realized what it was and I was fine. But that was definitely a highlight for me. I had sushi probably 3 or 4 times while we were on the ship.
Yep.
We had breakfast every morning, including a Razzle Dazzle brunch morning at what they call the American Diner. Because you can get yourself custom omelets if you want. They have sunny side up eggs, hash browns, anything you could think of. Really put me in the mind of a very clean and posh Denny's. It's kind of what it gave me the mind of. Or an old diner that was nice, clean, old school diner that you see once in a great while on the side of the road.
Yeah, on Route 66.
Yeah.
That's a great way to plug that shirt in there. But no, she's not lying. The breakfasts were amazing, and I'm telling you, every time I went there, I had an omelet, and you had a choice between ham and cheese omelets. You had the Western omelet. You had a veggie omelet, or you could pre-order
Yeah.
and have it made whatever you want. If you want a bacon and sausage in it and ham in it, you could have it that way.
Yeah.
So
if you wanted just an egg white
Yep.
omelet, you could do that.
Yeah.
They did egg white frittatas, things of that nature. So plenty of things
Yeah.
for you to eat there if you're used to a traditional American breakfast.
And I've never had chicken sausage before,
Yeah.
but I was really
That was
impressed
actually
with it.
pretty decent.
And they offer at their, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but they offered a British breakfast where you actually got to have beans and hot tomatoes.
I was wondering because obviously this is it's a British line, so because it's Sir Richard Branson.
Yeah.
So now, right next to the diner, you go over just a little bit more. You actually have the basically like the pastry and then dessert section.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, they had some amazing things. Maybe you just want to have, maybe you're simple. You just want to have a nice croissant for breakfast in the morning. Perfect place to do that. Maybe you have a sweet tooth, like as I do. I'm not even afraid to admit it. And you want to get one of those little chocolate cakes for your breakfast.
Yep.
I did that too.
Man, wow. I'm telling you, they're worth it.
Yeah, so good. And then fresh fruit and stuff is there as well.
Yep.
There's also another little kiosk. They have these kind of set up as like little food booths. And it is whatever you want, fresh salad fixings bar. And Scott, you probably did that
I'll tell you more about that. Real quick before we get into that, I wanted to let you know, you can have breakfast 24/7 on that ship right there at the American Classic Bar. They also do hamburgers and hot dogs and everything right there too.
Yes.
Made to your liking. So if you like a good bacon cheeseburger,
yes.
Very good. Very good. Anyway, now let's get back to the healthy stuff. So the salad bar. I love this place because I think I was there, 3 times that week?
I think you were there 3 or 4 times at least.
Because
there was only one day you didn't have a salad.
Right. So I went over and I did the traditional garden salad. And then guys, the great thing is they make it for you. You tell them what you want, they're making it for you. They're throwing it in the bowl. And I'm talking a bowl. I'm not talking like these little tiny things.
Giant
this thing's huge. And when you eat it all, you're full.
Yeah.
But they did lettuce. I do like a spring mix. So I did the spring mix, or you can just do spinach or straight lettuce.
Right.
And you got your tomatoes and your eggs and your cucumbers, and you got onions and some jalapenos and hot peppers.
Did they have any proteins besides eggs?
They
like
had
chicken, or
chicken, and they also had tuna. Also, that was the only 2 meats that they had there. The nice thing is the earlier in the day that you got there, the better chances of you getting the chicken. Obviously, the tuna would be there because not a lot of people eat tuna on salads, but I mean, at least I don't. But
I probably would.
But I did. I had the egg, and I had some chicken put on there too. So I had the best of both worlds.
Right.
But beautiful salads, great. They tasted great. All kinds of dressings. You could do Caesar salad. You could do just a pure vegetable salad. You don't have to have any meats or anything on it or anything. I mean, it's any way that you want. You tell them. Like I told the guy that was making my salad the one time, I said, I love tomatoes. Don't be shy. And he just kept plowing them on. Then he looked at me, and the whole top of the bowl was just covered in tomatoes. And he's like, is that good enough? And I'm like, you got her. So great place to get a salad.
Yes. There's also a coffee shop that's right there. If you do drink coffee and you want to make sure that you get your morning coffee, you can do that right there at the galley. You don't need to go to deck 7 and then go up to the galley.
Yeah.
Now, as far as a couple of the other restaurants, they had those I shouldn't call them restaurants. They're more like little food booths.
Food kiosks.
They had those open for lunches and like breakfast for one. So they had a panini press sandwich type place. That was where I had a redeemed avocado toast. That one was actually much better than the one that was at Razzle Dazzle. They also did some other sandwiches and things if you like like that kind of a sandwich. There was also a little taco stand basically where they had pork tacos or fish tacos. We had those.
Pork tacos were amazing. Oh my Lord.
I had the fish tacos, and I'm just not a big fan of corn tortillas, I think is what it was. So that was messing with me. So I wasn't as big of a fan of it, but he absolutely loved it.
I loved it. and the uh, oh God, what's it called? Not salsa. Starts with a P.
Pico de gallo.
Yes, thank you. That I couldn't get it out of my mouth. See, that's why I have her here too. So, anyway, that I just put that over top of the pork tacos, and oh my God, they were so good. Like they gave you a couple. They don't want to give you a whole lot because you may not like it.
Exactly.
And if you do like it, you can always go back and get more.
Yes.
I mean, it was really good.
Yeah.
That place was called Let's Taco About It.
There you go. They also had this really nice noodle shop, which had more like Asian-inspired noodles.
Yeah.
We ended up never eating there, which I'm really sad about.
Yeah,
but there were
too.
so many other things that was like, oh, I want to try this, and oh, I want to try that, and then it was like, oh.
There's just not enough hours in the day to eat everything they had. Literally,
and then you'd find
right
favorites, and you're like, oh no, I got to go get that again. I will admit, I became absolutely obsessed with their charcuteries.
Yes. Yeah, you did.
So good.
I did too. The only thing is I wish they would make it with an option where they didn't have the blue cheese in it.
Yes.
You know,
so with the charcuteries,
not everybody is a fan of it.
So what was really interesting is as you would walk into the entrance of the galley from the midship, on either side, you would be there's these little things where you could pick up like to-go sandwiches, things like that, and the charcuteries were in there, and they weren't there all the time. It just depends on what's available. And so I got we would see them and we'd grab like 2 or 3 or even 4 charcuteries because we're just like, yes, like this is so good. And it had blue cheese, which neither one of us like, had blocks of Parmesan cheese, thin sliced salami, and then thin sliced prosciutto.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that prosciutto was fantastic. I was craving it. I picked up prosciutto at Sam's Club. Not the same thing.
Nope.
I am so disappointed. It is so salty, and it is not what we had on the ship. No. So how I rave and rave about pineapple on Royal Caribbean, I'm now going to be raving and raving about the prosciutto on Virgin Voyages.
Yes.
And that will be why I will go back.
And the bacon.
and the bacon.
Don't
oh
forget
my
the
gosh,
bacon.
Cannot forget the bacon.
The bacon, I swear to God, everywhere on that ship, the bacon was amazing.
So good.
I don't know where they get it, but I want to fill my freezer with it because I'm telling you, it was just one of those just
crispy and just delicious.
And it didn't have a ton of fat in it either. It was just really good. God, I'm salivating so much.
So I think that's a good overview of the galley. I said, we had pretty much everything except for the noodle shop, which I was really sad about. And then obviously the coffee shop because we don't drink coffee.
Now the drinks that they had in there is obviously your Coca-Cola fountain drinks. You know, you got your Sprite, your Coke, your Diet Coke, ginger ale. And of course you have regular tea, you got water. You also have.
Not a fan of the regular tea.
Yeah, the regular tea is not. It's not. Let's just put it this way: it's like real tart. Really, I don't know. It just wasn't right.
It just tasted.
I drank
every
it
time
just
we drank it
because I needed to get the caffeine in me. But
yeah,
and then I found out about halfway through the trip that I could drink ginger ale, and I was all excited. So, but anyway, that's another story. But so yeah, I mean, you got all those options for drinking and stuff, and of course, obviously, if you want a glass of champagne or a mimosa for breakfast, just order it.
Oh yeah, they had this really cool little cart. It looked like a little ice cream cart, and that was where you could get your glass of champagne in the galley. But then they also had sorbet. So what you could do is you could get yourself a cup of sorbet, and then actually it wasn't a cup. They were in these like little.
They look like dilly bars, basically.
Yes, that had the stick in them and stuff, little sorbet bars. But what they would do is they would pour you a glass of champagne, and then they would hand that, like they would put that in, and then you would have like a sorbet champagne glass.
Yeah, it was really cool.
So,
but you can also, like I said, you can also definitely sit down at the table, and if you wanted to, instead of actually going to these locations and getting the food, you flip up the Ahoy flag.
Oh, hey.
And one of your waiters will come over and they'll take your order from you and they'll go get all the food for you and stuff and they'll bring it back to your table. So you don't have to stand there in line. You can enjoy looking out over the water, or you can do your morning work on your tablets and your different devices and stuff.
Yes,
I don't want to say
we did see that from time to time.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of people were working. They would spend the morning working and in the evening having fun. Yeah. So, but you can definitely do that too. Or if you want something else to drink and you just don't want to get up from your table because you're the only one there, flip the flag up and they'll come and help you out.
Exactly.
So but that's
very
completely
good.
Everything about
I
the
think
galley.
so. I think so.
So
Now, our dinner on our second night, our at sea day, was at Extra Virgin.
Yep.
I was so excited to get this reservation because it wasn't available until we got on the ship. And then obviously, how Virgin works is they keep back so many reservations. And then once you are on ship Wi-Fi and boarded, you can go into your app and you can see what other reservations there are available. So I was able to snag this one for the one night that we didn't have a dinner reservation. I don't know why that was so hard to say. So Extra Virgin is their Italian place. Go a few more times. So
all right, camera's off.
I was super excited about trying this because I am a pasta fanatic. Like I would eat pasta every single day if I could. I would be 500 pounds. Like, don't even care. Got here, got in there. I was feeling just a little bit queasy because again, I was being stubborn. I was like, no, I don't need to take a Dramamine. I'll be okay. Like, that's not what my issue is. I thought that it was just from having too much champagne the night before. That was not what my issue was. It was the rocking of the ship and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we get there and we get seated. And the one thing that I have a complaint about with these ships, when you are a party of two, which we were, and a lot of other people are, they have you sitting really, really close together. I mean, almost like this.
Like, this is no joke.
Yeah.
This is no joke. Like, literally.
Yeah.
So
that's how close you're sitting. Like you touch the person as you're trying to get into your seat.
Yeah. Keep that in mind if you guys have a little bit of claustrophobia and stuff and you're not good with crowds. That's the reason why it's better. It's better to get those later reservations because your restaurants are not as crowded.
Yeah.
So the later you can get it, I understand you're thinking like, okay, oh my God, eating dinner at 9:30, 10 o'clock. Let me tell you something. Didn't affect us at all because you didn't get up until like 10 o'clock in the morning, unless you're one of those early risers and stuff. If
we
if
woke
you
up
are,
early a few
guess
times,
what?
But we went back to bed.
Yeah, there's so much stuff that you can do on the ship that keeps you busy that you completely forget. And on top of it, you can snack all day.
Oh yeah,
like literally all day. So getting these later dinner reservations actually worked out pretty good for us because the restaurants were not as crowded. And if they were at the beginning, by the time we got seated, they were starting to clear out because everybody was starting to head to the events and the parties and the different shows and stuff that there was going on throughout the ship.
Exactly.
So anyway.
So our appetizer when we went to Extra Virgin, we got calamari. Highly recommend the calamari. I thought it was really good, but I didn't think it was like a step above anything else I've ever had at like an authentic Italian restaurant or anything.
Yeah,
so
it was good. It was good.
But not like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Excuse me.
Did we get another appetizer or was it just the calamari?
No, I thought there was another one.
But I can't remember what it was.
I can't remember.
Anyway, the other thing with Extra Virgin is and simple, like white girl right here, you know, and don't laugh at me too much on this one. I was so excited to get an Alfredo. Like I wanted a really good Alfredo dish. Whether it was chicken or shrimp or whatever they wanted to stick in there is like the protein. Like I wanted a good Alfredo. And I get there and I can't pronounce any of these pasta names. I have no idea what they are. And I don't know half of what the descriptions for what it is in there.
Yeah.
I was lost. And so I ended up talking to the server because I was like, okay, there's two different seafood options. And so I'm talking to him. And the one, he goes, well, this is an oyster sauce. And he goes, it's a little bit more daring. And he goes, it's black. And I was like, I can't do that. Right. I can't do that tonight. If I'd been feeling fine, I probably would have tried it. But like, I was already kind of just like, I don't know. So I ended up getting the other shrimp dish. And I'm really glad that I did. It was very similar to like a scampi butter sauce with it and Parmesan. And it did have clams in it that were in the shell and stuff. You pop them out. So those were really good. And I ended up really enjoying the dish But when you get yourself so hyped up for something that you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have this, and then you don't, and it's kind of like, oh, I mean, it's fine. But it wasn't my cheesy Alfredo. So I think I would have enjoyed it more if I hadn't been so hyped up about getting an Alfredo.
Well, I went in, I was expecting to find like chicken parm or
Tour Italy.
Something to that effect. And it was
we had Olive Garden in our brains.
Yeah,
and we should have known better.
Yeah, literally. I walked in, I was expecting to get chicken marsala. That's what I was looking for.
Yes, I forgot. You were all excited.
I was like, okay, this is what I'm going for. I know that's my go-to dish. I'm okay with that. I got in there and I'm like, no. And then he got to talking about the steak.
Yeah, and I'm like, you're really going to get a steak at a Italian restaurant?
But with pasta on the side.
Yeah, he did.
And I'm telling you what,
he had the better
good.
Meal.
Yeah, that was good. The steak was amazing. They cooked it perfectly. Can't say any more about that. Did not need any toppings over top of it at all. The flavor was phenomenal. But the pasta on the side got me. Because I didn't really understand what the guy was saying to me.
He was a soft-spoken guy with a lot of stuff going on, and he was standing behind me, and Scott's on the other side of the table.
Right. And I couldn't really hear him that well.
So I was translating for Scott, which was a very strange feeling because I've never had to do that for you before.
Right. It's usually the other way around. I'm usually going, yes, that's okay.
Yeah.
But so I'm like, okay.
I'm the one that can't hear.
I was taking Megan's word. So I get it, and I'm expecting to get like a pasta, like noodles and lengthwise, or the rolled ones or something like that. No. I ended up getting what I could describe as baby pierogies.
Yes, he got gnocchi.
Yeah, gnocchi.
Yeah.
Now I know the word because I think Miyagi. Never mind. Anyway, but so I got it. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, what's these round crap?
Well, and I was looking at this. I was looking at the options, and I was like, okay, Scott, this is the one that I know that you're actually going to like and you're going to eat. Because we were both like, what do we do with this?
So y'all, I can tell you what, right now, if we go to Paris, y'all better follow our videos because it's going to be comical as hell because we ain't going to know what we're
Italy,
eating.
Paris, anywhere in Europe, we're just going to be in trouble.
French writing, we are screwed.
So
we need to take a class before we go to those other countries. But anyway, so I ordered it. We went ahead and got it. It comes, I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, what is this? I'm like, this is not pasta. I'm like, it looks like small baby pierogies. I'm like, I didn't order pierogies.
It's like, what is this little thing on my plate?
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell is this? So I'm like, okay, I'm being daring tonight. I don't feel that bad, so I'm okay.
Yeah.
Bam. I'm like, oh my God, where the hell's this been all my life? Like, I just,
he looked at me. He goes, can we get these at home? I said, yes. Yes, we can.
Hey, learning new things every time I go somewhere. So,
yes. So, and then we ended up having dessert here as well. And it was kind of similar to what we had at the wake. I had another cheesecake dish, which was good, but it wasn't the lemon one. The lemon one was so good. You got to like lemon, but
yeah.
So yeah, definitely enjoyed it. Enjoyed our time there. By the time we ended up being done with everything, it pretty much cleared out.
Yeah.
So I was able to get some really great footage of the restaurant itself, which was nice.
Yeah.
And then we went straight, we ended up going straight back up to the room because I was done. My social media meter and my claustrophobia meter was like, I couldn't handle anymore.
It was way up.
And part of it was because I was stuck between two people for half of the dinner. The people on my right ended up leaving about a third of the way through, and then the other people, they left not long after we got our entrees. But I was staring at Scott and a wall, and so like it was just very close. In retrospect, if you have the least bit of claustrophobia, let the maitre d' know and say, hey, is there any way I can get into a table that's like more in the middle or open air or something like that? Just even if you're sitting close to people,
or with a side that's open, you can lean over and not
or
fart.
Something you can look out a little bit.
not lean over and fart on the person next to you, but just lean over away from people just to get yourself feeling a little bit better. But,
Yep. So just as a heads up.
Yeah.
And then let me see. So the following day was our day at Cozumel, and this was our anniversary day.
Yes.
So we did get off of the ship. We told you guys all about that. We came back onto the ship. We had dinner reservations for the test kitchen, which before the cruise, I was so excited about. I really wanted to try like changing up different things and seeing how certain things go together.
Yeah.
Again, very forward, very adult, not something that you would necessarily get anywhere else. And Scott looked at me and he goes, I don't think I can do another dinner like with stuff I don't understand. I looked at him and I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I was just like, Megan, I need normal food, please.
So, and we still weren't feeling the greatest.
Wings, pizza. Thanks for just one plural. Yeah, just one word, please.
Yes. And so it was like, okay, canceled the dining reservation. It was like, nope, we're done. And we got pizza from the pizza place on the same deck. I believe it was deck 7.
Mm-hmm.
You can go around and there's another little
it's like a
sports bar kind of deal. And I cannot remember what it is called off the top of my head. It will be in our video.
And it served like wings and hot dogs and popcorn, soft pretzels and stuff. Basically stuff that you can get at like games, you know, baseball games, football games.
Right around the corner was the arcade.
Right. And there's arcades there. There's also great big televisions there. You can sit and watch.
Dad out here making Friends references under the roof. Catch on to that.
Damn, sorry guys.
So but anyway, that was what we did on Wednesday night. And I am so glad that we did. We watched a couple of movies and ate in bed and had a terrific time.
Yep.
So much good stuff. Lots of charcuterie as well, because I went upstairs and I got more.
Oh guys, I'm gonna tell you what, we
probably had 24 different boxes of charcuterie our whole trip.
there was what, you got 2 grippy things for charcuterie. We got 2 pizzas.
Yep.
2 things of wings.
Yeah.
You got
Which
dessert.
The wings were not all that great, just as a heads up.
Yeah, they were all right. I've had better.
We're particular about our sauce.
I brought 4 beers.
Yep.
You drank 1. I ended up drinking all 3.
Yeah, the other 3 because I did not like what.
You didn't like Heineken, so I know a lot of people don't like Heineken. Or no, I gave you Corona.
I didn't like the Corona.
Yeah, that's what it was. But the only 2 beer options they had really was Corona and Heineken.
Yeah.
Unless you went to a bar and went to the tap, you know, stuff like that. But and then the other can that they had was
so it wouldn't have helped.
Virgin's Pale Ale, which I wish I would have tried that while we were on there just to see what it tasted like. But
next time.
You never know. So but anyway, that was one of the one of the best.
Cool way to celebrate 13 years.
Yeah, 13 years. We're laying on the bed on a cruise ship with the curtains open, overlooking the ocean, and we're watching, guess what? Jurassic World. Yes, we were calling our Universal peeps from the ocean. So yes, we had to have a little bit of Universal in there. So yes, I was thrilled to death to be watching, and it was our first time actually watching that movie, and it was pretty good. So
I agree, it was pretty good.
I was glad to get to see it.
Now we just have one more that we need to watch, and then we'll be caught up with the franchise.
Yep.
So, but anyway, so that was how we spent our Wednesday night or Tuesday night, whatever it was, Tuesday night, our anniversary. So then the following day was another day at sea, which I'm really glad that we had another day at sea. We lounged around. We didn't do a whole lot. I napped more on this trip than I think I have ever napped on any trip.
And guys,
crazy to me.
If you've seen the little clip that I put up on Facebook that said another amazing day at sea, well, that video, as we're going by, if you look real close back in the horizon, back where the top of the water is, you will see Cuba as we went by Cuba. So that I found was really, really cool. So
Christopher.
Yes, Christopher, we know. Our minds are blown. Go away.
He's in the background. So then that night, that was the night that we had our Pink Agave restaurant reservation.
Yes.
Let me tell you, I would, between the Wake and Pink Agave, I would just eat there every other night, like switch them back and forth and be tickled pink. And so
because of Pink Agave. Anyway.
So we ended up getting there a little bit early because just how it worked. Sat at the bar, got a classic margarita. because when I asked for a menu for the drinks, they gave me a big old list of mezcal and tequila for shots. And I was like,
Mm-mm.
I can't do that right now. Like,
Yeah.
feeling better because of the Dramamine, but I do not want to be hugging that toilet because those like not enough room for you to be hugging that toilet on these
No,
in
no,
these
no, no.
cabins. Okay.
Nope. And I feel sorry for the person that, it's walking along the ship. You go over the rail.
Oh my God.
Anyway, no, it didn't happen. I'm just saying.
Anyway, so ended up having a couple of classic margaritas
Yeah,
right there.
really good.
Really good. $9 a piece. I mean, how can you beat that, honestly?
Mm-hmm.
And then we sat down and we had a fantastic server. I wish I could remember what her name is off the top of my head.
It started with an A.
I was going to say like Anna something, but anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
Such a
she
sweetheart.
was absolutely amazing. She made sure that we had everything that we wanted. We ordered a couple of appetizers there as well because we wanted to try different things. They were decent. Wasn't anything that I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. What was amazing was when we ordered, I take that back. You had enchiladas, and then I had something.
Yeah. The green sauce enchiladas.
You had green sauce enchiladas, yes,
with chicken in it. Oh my God, guys, these things were good, and there was just two of them on it. Rolled up.
We thought they were going to be bigger.
Yeah, probably about like that.
Yeah,
but
yeah. So
phenomenal
we did that,
flavoring.
and then I had something, and it was good too. And then we ordered a steak to split because we thought that like we were getting two entrees, and then we were getting a shareable.
Yeah.
It comes out, and don't get me wrong, it could have been shared. I mean, the steak was like this big, but it was too good to share.
Yeah. So
she came through after our first bite and said, get us another one.
Each.
Yeah.
Each. And she brought us each another steak. And I'm not kidding you. We ate
that was
all
the
three.
Best steak that we have ever had. And the steak itself was so good. And fortunately, you kind of let me order it how I like it, which is a little bit more medium. And so very, very good. They did like a cheese sauce over top of it, or cheese, which was broiled on top. So, I mean, oh my gosh, amazing. And then they had a brown sauce on top of it as well.
Yeah.
So definitely the way to go. And it was a flank steak. I mean, it ripped apart real easy and stuff.
Yeah.
It was a little thinner. And just so good. So if you are going to be going to Pink Agave, definitely recommend that. Now, I will say, it's like it's supposed to be like a Mexican restaurant, but you're not going to have typical Mexican fare. Like I was expecting tamales, or I was expecting more enchiladas or tacos, things like that.
Chips and salsa on the table. It's something else I expected. No, not that.
Nothing like that. And honestly, this restaurant, the look did not match what I had in my head because everything was like deep blue velvet. For a lot of the seats and things like that. And so I was kind of like,
yeah, that's different.
Pink agave. Like
I
was expecting pink and greens,
you guys will understand once you see the videos and stuff that we put out here. Take the razzle dazzle coloring and put it in the pink agave, and then
make a little more sense.
Take pink agave's coloring and put it in the razzle dazzle. That would have made more sense. The coloring theme, I think, honestly, just in my opinion. But it, who am I?
But absolutely good restaurant. Had such good food. We did end up ordering some dessert as well.
Oh yes, and the things that I had, she couldn't have because it had cinnamon, and I felt terrible. But you know what? I ate it anyway.
And he had so much fun with it.
Oh, and they were little tacos with chocolate on it, and they had it was so good. They were really good.
A lot of Mexican chocolates will have cinnamon in them, so I was expecting not to be able to have much, if anything, dessert wise. So it was kind of nice that I did get a dessert, but it was very anticlimactic when I'm over there and I'm looking at him like literally drooling as he's eating his Mexican chocolate.
Yep. I felt bad for her, I really did, but I ate it.
Not that much because he ate it.
I ate yours. I felt guilty when I ate yours. I mean, I really did.
You're such a liar. So highly recommend the Pink Agave restaurant. Definitely would recommend that one. And
Oh, keep going. It's all right.
And then our Bimini Day. So our Bimini Day, we kind of did things a little bit differently. It was the only day that I could get a brunch at the Wake. Remember, we talked about that. That was our very first restaurant that we ate at. Yep. And I had such high expectations because dinner the first night was so good. And the thing that surprised me, you were able to get your clam chowder again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was very excited about that. I'm like, oh, yep, take that.
Yep. So you had your clam chowder. It was very quiet. There was one person that was sitting next to us. Ironically, she was from Pittsburgh, California, and is big Pittsburgh Steelers fans. And they had just come out the month before to watch a game. So it was really cool getting to talk to her.
Such a wonderful person to talk to.
Yes.
Her husband went ahead and slept in because he just wasn't feeling it. And
which can't blame.
Yeah.
She's even like, is it rough to you? I was like, yes.
Yeah.
So
but it was really rough that morning because that was Bimini, where it was like the winds were just like killer in that morning. So
but anyway, so you had your clam chowder again. I'm trying to think of what my appetizer was. I do not remember.
Yeah, I don't remember what you did that morning either, but the breakfast part of it that I did, it was really good. Had some bacon again, obviously.
Yeah, I think you had like a traditional, like all-American breakfast.
Yeah,
right?
That's what I did. Eggs, bacon.
And then I did like an Eggs Benedict type breakfast.
Yeah,
and that was good. I would definitely do that again. And then they did offer dessert again. And so a little bit different of a twist, but very similar to what we had the first night.
Yeah.
So
it was kind of nice to go back to something that we were familiar with,
I would do brunch again at the Wake. Hands down. I would definitely do that again. I would do it with the intent of spending the extra money on the big, the brunch seafood tower, which isn't as big and therefore isn't quite as expensive. Provided that I was feeling up to it. Again, because of the really rocky seas and stuff, I was like, I don't know. And like trying to stick to a budget as well. I was like, So we ended up not doing it that time. But highly recommend it. Thought it was really good.
So that day we went ahead, got off the ship, went to Bimini, did some, basically sightseeing and stuff, went walking on the beach hand in hand, put our feet in the water and stuff. Oh, romantic, kiss, smooch, that kind of stuff. And then went back to the ship.
Yep.
And got back on and
went to the galley for lunch because yum.
Oh yeah, that. And we went back and I think I took a nap.
You did. You crashed. I was uploading footage and he was sawing logs.
Oh man, guys, I want to tell you what, I napped more on this trip than I think I have ever since we've been together. Yeah. So it was one of those trips. It was just great to just
nice recharge,
chill and relax,
So, now I'm trying to think. I don't think we had any dining reservations. I think this was our open night of like if we wanted to go back somewhere and try to get in or anything like that.
Yeah, we went and got another pizza that night.
We were going to, and we decided that we wanted to get pizzas.
Yeah, we went back, got pizzas again because it was just so good 2 nights before that we decided we were going to go ahead and just do it again.
Yep. Had pizzas and a couple beers and had a great night. Got packed up because we had to leave the next morning. Now I will say I did pick a later coming off. I picked 10:45, I believe, was our time.
Yeah.
Because you had to be off of the ship by 11. And the reason why I did that was because we had such a long window between getting off of the ship and then our flight going out of Fort Lauderdale. I wanted to make sure that we weren't sitting there for like an extra 3 hours.
Yeah.
And so we ended up going upstairs to the galley, and we had a great breakfast because everything was open. Was able to have a really, really nice breakfast overlooking Miami. Kind of going, it's sad that we're leaving,
but we can't wait
ready
to get
to see our kids.
Yep.
So,
and our dogs, and we were homesick at that point, but also wanted to continue on the voyage. We didn't want to get off, but we wanted more of a vacation,
and then we'll do it again.
Yeah, we wanted more of a vacation. We were ready to come home and get him.
Yep.
But yeah, that breakfast that morning, we ate, and then we went down and got off the ship and went back to Fort Lauderdale. Hi, Kim. And we got into Fort Lauderdale, and then we went and had lunch we'll talk about this. I know it's not on the ship, but
No, it's okay.
we had lunch over at Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville at the airport
In Fort
in
Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. And I'm
The
going to tell you what, overlooking the tarmac and watching the
Yeah,
planes come in and out and stuff, that
that
was a
was fun.
great way to kill a few hours and stuff for us. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we had a good
Decent
lunch.
food. I mean, I thought it was pretty decent food. It wasn't Orlando, Margaritaville.
Mhm.
I was kind of disappointed I didn't get to have my crab cake, but my enchiladas were decent, or
Mhm.
my quesadillas were decent. So
Yep. And I had my cheeseburger in paradise.
yes, you did.
Kind of like our hat tip to Jimmy.
Yeah.
So,
And then we did end up doing a full Terminal 1 tour of Fort Lauderdale Airport because there are 4 terminals there. We were in the largest, which is Terminal 1. So we went around and we did a full tour of the different concourses there. And after we're walking around, I was like, oh, maybe we should have ate here. Whoa, maybe we should have ate there. Hey, honey, when are we coming back here? I want to try that place.
Yeah, so you'll have to definitely check out the video when we do that one, because that, it's amazing how big this place was, and it didn't look that big.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
It doesn't look like it's huge. And of course, when we got off the plane and stuff, we were at the closest gate to be able to like get out and go to get our bags and everything.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like, oh my gosh, like this is tiny.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh wait, no, it's not really that tiny. We just lucked out with where we got dropped off.
Yeah, it keeps going that way and then that way
and then that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we didn't really pay attention. Of course, it was dark too when we got off the plane, and we were just
on travel days
get to where we needed to get,
especially
and then,
rainy night travel days. You're just wanting to get where you need to go and be done.
Thank God there was overhangs and protection for us and stuff.
Oh my gosh, yes. So, but anyway, that was our food aboard the Virgin Voyage's Scarlet Lady.
So, in your opinion, food on the Virgin Voyage, what do you think?
I think it was very good. I think that you need to have a sophisticated palate. If you are somebody that lives on chicken tenders and fries, you're not going to have a good time on this cruise ship.
I agree to disagree on that.
Okay.
The reason why I disagree on that is because you can live off of chicken tenders and pizzas and stuff like that. You can go on that ship and have a good time with the food, because there's hamburgers and there's pizzas, there's hot dogs,
if you're looking
there's chicken tenders, there is fries. You got. Oh, well, we forgot to talk about the ice cream shop.
Ooh.
Yeah,
lick me till ice cream.
Lick me till ice cream. Ice cream. I don't know how many times I said scream. Anyway, and you can go get 4 different flavors of ice cream right there. And
the ice cream was really good.
Wow.
When you put it that way, if you're looking for a more traditional cruising experience, though, where you're going to a nice dinner every night, you're going to have a hard time if you are a picky eater. If you don't mind eating from the galley and picking up things here and there, or even doing room service, you could definitely do that. They call that Ship Eats. I will say one thing that surprised me while we were on there, I ordered a Ship Eats. It was free because I'd ordered him a couple of beers. We just had like lunch in the room one afternoon and ordered a bunch of different things, of course. And when I went to go order again, it was a $7 charge. And I was like, what the heck is going on here? They don't charge you a room fee, or they don't charge you a fee for delivery if you're buying alcohol. If you don't have alcohol on it, they charge you a $7 fee for delivery with your Ship Eats.
Yep.
So as a heads up, and that might change based off of your cruise, whichever cruise you are taking. Might be less, it might be more.
Right.
But kind of took me back because I was like, wait, why?
And it also depends on what you order too, because you could be ordering one of the items that costs more. Wasn't there something like that on there?
Yeah, but that would have been completely separate.
Yeah.
This was just like the delivery charge because I didn't have any alcohol on the order.
Okay. All right.
So, but anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, food on the ship, from my opinion, I thought it was really good. There was a couple places that, there was a lot of WTF is that. But other than that, I mean, I really enjoyed it. Some of the steaks were amazing. The bacon, oh my God, like I'm phenomenal. I'm telling you, phenomenal bacon.
We will go back and we will do Virgin Voyages again, probably in a couple of years, because we want Nick to be a little older, maybe not miss him as much.
Yeah.
But we will be going back for the
when he hits the
charcuterie.
teenage stage, we'll think, yeah, let's leave him home.
Yeah. We will be going for the charcuterie so that we can have the delicious Parmesan and salami and prosciutto. Could care less about the blue cheese. We will be having bacon galore, and we will be going to Pink Agave and hoping that they still do the steak the exact same way that they have it.
Oh my God, yeah. And the wake.
And the wake.
And the ice cream shop.
And the ice cream shop.
And the pizzas.
Yes. Because they actually had a really good garlic pizza, because I don't really like red sauce.
It was, man, it was good. But anyway, I totally recommend this, the food and everything. It was a great cruise.
Yeah, when you put it that way, I mean, plenty of things for you to eat.
Yeah.
You just kind of got to find it, and you got to know what your limits are.
That's where you need to get a hold of us, where we can help you book that next vacation, whether it's on Virgin Voyages or any cruise line or anywhere in the United States or the world.
Yes.
So,
and the great thing is, if you're a picky or a bland eater, I have Scott here that you can talk to, and he'll tell you all about his experiences. If you like to try things that are a little bit more outside of the box, and I don't know if I'm going to like that or not, talk to me about it, because I enjoy doing that kind of stuff. As long as it's not in my realm of allergies, I'm generally willing to try it.
So, well, anyway, I wanted to say, guys, thank you to the 415 new subscribers, 415 subscribers that we have. All of you new ones on there, if you're watching tonight, thank you. And welcome to the Plum Crazy family. All of you that are on Facebook, thank you guys for all of your love and support that we continuously get from all you guys. We do greatly appreciate it. And always our YouTube channel and also all of our other social medias. Thank you guys for following us on those two. We do appreciate that. And we just can't thank you guys enough. The goal is grateful. We've got a goal. By the end of the year, we want to be at 500 subscribers. We're at 415. That's 85 more subscribers. So we need you guys to do us a big favor. If you haven't done so already, like and subscribe to our channel. It is completely free. And then tell 5 other people to do the exact same thing.
Yes, please.
So please do that and help us out. Also, all of our friends on Facebook, take this video and share it to your Facebook page. It is completely free.
Yes, we are, Deb.
We are completely fine with you sharing it to your Facebook page. That way all of your friends and family members will learn about Plum Crazy Adventures, because we're not only travel, or she's not only a travel advisor, but we also do book vacations and plan the vacations for you too. So
exactly. And as a heads up, next week we are going to be talking all about the theme parks, because it has been a minute since we have done theme park updates. A lot has happened, especially Disney World. Universal has announced some things, so we've got a lot to talk about. Definitely want to get you in there for that.
Epic is really coming along. The hotels are starting to take form.
I know. I can't wait to talk about it next week.
Guys,
it's on the list.
Yeah, you guys are going to have to stay tuned next week.
Might have to be with us for a little longer than an hour.
There's a lot to cover, and I'm telling you, Epic Universe is coming, and it looks like it is right on schedule too. So fingers crossed, we will get that. Not next year, but 2025. A lot of good things in 2025. We got a brand new airport. Well, a new terminal. And then we've got Epic Universe opening in 2025. So we got a lot of things to look forward to in the next couple of years here.
Yes, we do. So with all that being said, thank you so much. Don't forget to follow us on all of our socials. And are you guys ready for your next Plum Crazy adventure?
Because we are ready to get you on a Virgin Voyage, baby.
Yes, we are. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.